All right, we're under the house here, and I've got my vapor barrier up, and just the standard insulation up to the to fill in the cavity for the 2x6 floor joist. But I wanted to add a little more insulation, so I'm just putting 1 inch of styrofoam. This one here is 1 inch thick. I got a bunch of half-inch sheets, so I'm just doubling them up in here. And this one is fine, and one above it, but we have to put in our hurricane straps here, and so they'll get in the way of the fire or the foam, so I can't put it in until I put the hurricane straps down, which they should be in there anyway. I do have a few left over, just the ones in the very front from original. It looks like we have one over there. Probably leave it there, but we had to take a bunch off, to do work on the house and whatnot, and they were all kind of rusted out. So I do have some new ones over here that have been sitting under the house. They're getting a little rusty, but we got new bolts and they're nice and good. So we'll take some of these out, put them on so I can put the foam insulation there. All right, I said hurricane straps, but this is the Northwest. We don't get hurricanes up here, at least not yet anyway. So we get earthquakes, so they're earthquake straps. It's been a long time, so we might be getting one sooner or later. At least that's what they keep saying. And right on cue, I created my own earthquake. Ba-bam. Yeah, don't put the camera on the precarious board that you're wobbling on, and that won't happen. But anyway, so now we're getting on to putting those little styrofoam panels up. And here you can see on the end of it there's like a little 3-4 inch gap. And that's because when I put the skirting on, I'm going to have a 2x4 as the top there in the base, the framing of it basically. So just need that space there to be able to bite into the end of the house wall. And don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain there. He's just putting hurricane straps up, or again, earthquake straps. But yeah, so here, worked on this one and got her up there. Easy peasy, no problem. And it's a bada boom, bada bing. Just like that. So now we're down at the end of the house where I don't mind working under the house because it's, 4.5 feet off the ground because of the slope of my yard. And as we go farther on up, then it gets less enjoyable as I go up there. But here we decided to take a little landscape break to get some weeds out of the way and work on some more straps. And again, these ones aren't so bad. And then coming up to the next one, though, we have to go under the bump out, jump over the septic line. So that's not so fun, but still not so bad. And then you can see I didn't do the vapor barrier and right above my head there. I get the vapor barrier done and put some more foam panels in there. And we got that little cutouts there for the straps. And I think I got all the hurricane straps except I was missing one. Just didn't have enough to do one of them. So, oh well, good enough. I think it's all good. And I got these little weedy clips or things. I think they're called weedy. I want to say purdy, but they're weedies, I believe, which is similar. But I think those are for like little clips putting on aqua barriers for when you do showers and whatnot. So they're lighter than drywall, and obviously you're not supposed to use drywall in building showers and whatnot these days. But anyway, those are what those clips were for. But I got boxes of them from the Habitat store for like $4 a box. So thought this would be a good use for them since they were so cheap. And you just have the floor joist running along there. So I just put a few anchors, maybe 3 on each one that I have access to there. And I think that was sufficient. And here on the end, I always thought it's funny here, just looking, most of between the wings on the frame there's like 4 feet gaps, 3 feet where the wheels go underneath this thing. But so I just thought it was weird that they didn't end the house on a 4-foot section and they put that little 2-foot section in there instead. But I guess, yeah, maybe design, the floor plan first, and then you're like, oh, I guess the frame needs to be this much longer. But hey, I'm not an engineer. What do I know? So anyway, just an observation. So I'm back at it, getting some more of these done. And this is the only one in the center section that had a vapor barrier in it at the very end there. But the rest of them, I decided to put the foam up first and then I'll use these wood strips to put those up there. But I just also want to give you a little shot up here. This is the very front of the house, obviously, where it's not 4.5 feet off the ground, but just wanted to give you a little view on how much fun it is working on that section. But I can't really tape much of it under there because I don't have a little GoPro that I could set on the ground. Just got a big DSLR that just is inconvenient to go in there. But give you a little shot at cutting the little sections out of my 4x8 sheets. And in the end, I kind of ran out of the full sheets after I did the outer sections. So the center sections kind of have to piece most of them together with smaller chunks, because you'll see that I have some that are busted like this. So just cut off the non-usable ends when I could to at least get some use out of them. And here we're just using my little digital measuring device to see how wide or how long I need to cut the pieces to get them up in there. But as usual, we have to take a dog affection break, as customary in my neighborhood here. And baby loves her behind to be spanked. You'll see a little tail wagging. She's like, "Oh, come on, Dad, keep going, keep going." But I could do that all day, but we got works to do. She's got itches to scratch, so we'll give her her little kiss and send her on her way to do whatever she needs to do, so Daddy could get back to work. So, anyway, so back at it, doing some more measurements, and then here, these are kind of, I think, scraps from when I was cutting my little 2x4 pieces from the ceiling project inside the house. And so what we're doing here is I had some of those that just weren't going to cut it for inside the house, and so we're stripping them in half as well, because they don't need to be so wide underneath. And then I had this janky 2x4 that was all warped everywhere, and so I thought this would be a good use for that one, because we don't have to have them perfectly straight. So yeah, just cut those down, and then I don't think I cut those in half because they were so wonky, but and now we're just cutting to width what we can. And like I said, I was kind of running out of the full 4x8 sheets, so we just cut them and matched them up as best we could. And so it's not going to be as efficient because there's the little gaps there and air can get up in through there, but in the end, it's going to be better than nothing. And plus, it's really nice to have a thermal break between the floor joist and air, because like even though I have 21 R value of foam or fiberglass insulation in between the floor joists, the 2x6s are not very, or lumber is not very good. Doesn't have very good R value, not very good insulation ratings. Like heat or cool transfers through wood pretty easily. So having this little break to where the air can't get straight to those floor joists with this 1 inch of foam really makes a big difference. Kind of like when I put the 2 inches on the roof there, makes a huge difference. I mean, obviously you're going to add R value, but just not being able to go straight to the roof trusses or the floor joists and then transferring into your house makes a huge difference. Like I haven't really had to turn on my AC that much this year, although August was mostly autumn-like, but June and July were pretty warm, and we're getting some hot temperatures now and haven't had to worry too much about it. And so hopefully this winter, even though I'm not going to have my skirting done yet, probably not till next year, I think it's going to make a big difference and stay pretty warm. I think I might just put a plastic sheeting around just to help with like wind and whatnot, but for the most part, I'm just going to be relying on this foam here. But yeah, we're just putting, like I said, didn't have the vapor barrier up there, so we're putting these wood strips in the middle sections so that I can tack vapor barrier onto that wood, which is probably a better idea than what I did on the outer sections, because that foam I think isn't hydrophobic. I think it might take in water, but this last one here, we're getting our water section grounded to the frame so we don't get electrocuted when taking showers and whatnot. And I'm just putting this last one up. We had more to go where the plumbing is, but we'll get that done when we get the plumbing up through the floor. And all right, there we go. So we got most of these done. There's a few that are blank here, like this one, because I still have to have the plumbing go up through there. So Need to start doing that pretty soon. So like that one, and then this little one right here for the kitchen. And then there is one for the one or two up front for the bathroom. And then if you can see down here, let's see, let's go under here. Yeah, so we got all these in here. And like I said, I just have the wood strips in there so I can tack up vapor barrier at some point. And then there's two sections where the bump out is, because I have these jacks right here to help support the weight of the bump out roof beam. So I haven't figured that out permanently yet, so we don't have those. And then I have to redo my piers over there. They're kind of janky and they're just sitting on dirt. So I want to make some cement footers down there. So I just have to jack those up, and then I can finish putting the vapor barrier out there and then put up the rest of the foam insulation on that. So hopefully, you know, I got the cement here to make the footers. So just got to get around to it before the rains come. But there we go. Got most of these all the way down. I got these all the way down, I should say. Except for up, again, like I said, up there in the bathroom. But there we go. Good times. Always fun working under the house. But thanks for tagging along. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, y'all.